We have Izzy through traffic right here in the backfield. This is obviously showing Carter Warren as well, but let's watch Izzy. Okay. Yeah, so we have it's just this is just power, just straight power. Nothing fancy to it for Izzy. And Izzy obviously is going to he has his fullback here, who's going to kick out, and he's following the block of his left guard. And he does a good job just lightening his leg through traffic as these blocks develop. Clearly, he sees that he wants to cut off the inside shoulder of the offensive lineman, who you wish took a little bit better of an angle, but he gets through that gap. And what does he specifically have to do with that gap? He has to pull his knees through. You know, if you're going to go through a gap and your feet aren't really raising off the ground, you risk getting caught up in some of the foot traffic, and you're going to trip there. So it's a good awareness by Izzy. Two, we could see him specifically. You see him pull up that right knee really high, not typical. That's two, step over the hole instead of kind of stepping through it, and then again, accidentally maybe tripping over feet, whatever it may be. As he gets to the second level, okay, guy coming over the top, spins him, turns forward for another yard or two. But it's a good job of getting through, slightly sticky situation in terms of just traffic and not wanting to fall. But again, pretty good job. Pretty good job there. Let's go to the next play. Jump cut, footwork to pull leg. Okay. So we've seen back-to-back pistol sets here with a fullback in the backfield. So let's see. Now we have Carter Warren again in that tackle over type of set that they typically did it at Pitt, or at least frequently did. Not all the time necessarily, but jump cut, footwork to pull leg from Izzy. Okay, we have another power here, and as he starts to read, okay, yeah, he wants to pull, he wants to follow the guard, but as he sees the blocks developing, he doesn't really like what he sees inside. Now, should he? I would say based on what he's seen, he probably should have, or not probably, he should have cut through this gap. And I'm gonna say, you'll see it through the next couple of third year or so plays, whatever. Izzy does have inconsistent vision at times. And this, inside leverage or outside leverage versus inside leverage, outside leverage versus inside leverage combo. Okay, probably should just for lack of not for lack of a better term, you should just hit that hole there, bounces it to the outside. Okay, that's fine. It's again, I prefer he just hit the hole that was there, just because for consistent vision, we want to see that hole hit, right? Because who knows exactly what's going to be going on to the outside, but he works to the outside, presses the outside. He sees obviously that the one defender shoots that gap right there. The DB, whatever he is, shoots the C gap or whatever we're going to call that. I don't know exactly what unfolded the rest of the play, because I didn't really watch, but he shoots that gap, and Izzy does a good job of pulling the left leg away from him. You can see how he gets onto the right foot quickly, pulls that leg, just because, and it's only slight. But he pulls that leg away. Why? Because if you're going to put a lot of your weight into that left foot, and you're going to step with that left foot hard and not pull it through, a lot of your balance is dependent on that leg. So if somebody attacks that leg, brings that leg down, hits it, whatever it may be, a lot of your balance is focused on that leg. So if it's disrupted, you're going to lose your balance. So you want to pull that near leg. He does that slightly, could have done it even better, but is able to maintain his balance. And then a good job just getting vertical inside of that block on the outside from the receiver. So it's a decent run. We like to see the jump cuts there. We like the fact that his footwork is good to pull that leg away. Yeah, pull the leg away. And then again get vertical, spin another guy who's coming over the top just to pick up another few yards. Izzy vision, patience, question mark. Okay. Let's watch them. And remember, a lot of the first couple of at least half the review, or probably not half, but I would say like at least like 33% of it or whatever is from 2021 as well. So you have to note that players develop in that as well. So we have inside tight zone split right here. Now, in terms of what I'm talking about with vision and patience, he doesn't always have it. I saw that, and some people saying he has vision, he has good vision, he has good patience. I'm not on board with those people. I don't think one or two or three good plays of vision shows that you have good vision. I think it has to be a pretty consistent thing. And for display, okay, we have that inside zone split right here, and sometimes it can look like yeah, you picked the right gap, but a lot of guys have a lot of patience in zone, and you kind of and you have multiple reads in zone, and for this, let's say if it is inside zone, tight zone, which it is, there's a little bit of differential between inside and tight in terms of the track of the running back, but the reads are mostly the same. So he's going to read this defender. He sees that defender widening, so he's going to hit the inside of that defender, right? But then your reads don't necessarily stop there. Okay, so you read that guy, then your next read is going to go to this defender, right? This defender is scraping over the top. He's fighting to get down a line of scrimmage, uncovers. So if Izzy were to read that and have a little bit better patience in terms of attacking the line of scrimmage, he sees this, he cuts back, and yeah, there's another defender there, and this guy's getting kicked out. But you'd ideally like to see him cut this run back. Now, with that being said, is it a situation where it's a short yard and he just wants to get a yard? Obviously, that's a possibility, and I should have noted that. But you're going to see with Izzy pretty frequently where a gap would open up on the backside or even on the front side, but he doesn't really have the best patience in terms of just pressing the line of scrimmage a little bit with reduced footwork and then cutting the run back, bending the run back or bouncing the run out to the outside. He's not really the guy who's going to do that and show good patience behind the line of scrimmage and letting blocks develop. And we'll see some better examples in the future. This is one of the first ones I saw where I'm like, okay, maybe I want to see him cut back there because he does drive through the tackle and pick up an extra few yards right here, but he's running right into a defender. And I get the defender's backside, but maybe he could have cut back, put a little bit of a shake on him and continue for more yards. But we'd like to see more patience there. Izzy footwork cut second level creative. Okay, so we have obviously Izzy in the backfield. It's gonna be pretty easy to find him throughout this entire review. And we have a draw. And in terms of the footwork, that's what we like. He throws a hop step right there. So one, same foot, cut off that foot. Why does he do that? Because if he was going to take another full stride, so let's say he takes steps 1, 2, obviously he's not going to cut to his left with his left foot up. So then he's have to bring his right foot up again. And by that time, by another 2 full strides or 2 strides, he's going to be contacted by 94. So instead of doing that, he hop steps off of that right foot, explodes into this backside B gap, and then works up the field. And obviously the second level defender is taking an angle that's too high, and you see some of his lateral movement right there. Now he does have a little bit of a load up in his lateral movement. Some guys can just cut immediately. He does have a little bit that split second of, okay, I have to load on that foot to really get lateral. It's not overly drastic in terms of the load up, but it is there. But it's a good job in the second level. It's a good job to reduce the footwork. I like that play overall from him, and obviously he trips, which is unfortunate, but that's sometimes that's going to happen. So Izzy footwork, a lot of plays here against Tennessee in 2021. And this is, at this point, I probably have like 16, 17 more games left. And I'm like, shit, I already recorded 5 plays. We have another 20 games to go. So I guess this is going to be a 100 play Izzy review. But then you start to realize, okay, I got to be a little bit lighter on the trigger, which I always realize that, but I always tend to just record a lot at first. So Izzy footwork, let's watch here. Okay. So we have a tight zone, belly zone here. And Izzy is going to read the interior defensive lineman first. Looks like he's reading, and again, when you talk about like tight zone and belly zone and things like that, or inside zone, different systems might prefer to read different defenders first, but with how tight this run is, it does look like he's reading this defender right off the jump. So he reads that defender, and past that, I think his eyes are going to go to the right, reading both guys. Sees this defender uncovered. He's going to cut to the left because of that. Looks like he was reading these 2 defenders first. Read that. Okay, let me check this guy, see what's happening, because he can really cut either way here. Thinking about cutting it back. Nope, don't want to cut it back. So he's going to bounce the run. And we like the reduced footwork there, right? Because it's another thing where you're talking about not taking full strides. Because if you're going to take full strides, you're going to work up towards the line of scrimmage, towards the defenders. So we're going to see him reduce his footwork. Left step, right step doesn't come fully up. It almost works like a skip step where it comes basically even to his left foot, allowing him to burst off the instep to get to the outside to his left, burst off the instep to get to the outside, works through an arm tackle, and then transfer for an extra yard or two. But we like the little bit more patience here, and we like the footwork too, as we can see, not take another full stride. Smaller steps as he exchanges, smaller steps to read, decides to bounce the run outside, sees the defenders, reduces the footwork to get outside, hit the outside, and pick up a couple of yards. So it's good. It's good footwork. Izzy feet re-accelerate touchdown. All right. So now we have this is something that he does with and I compared him to Tevin Coleman in some ways. And there are some times where he's in the backfield where he's reading and he's taking too big of strides. You really want to have your feet under you, and while you're reading, you really want to reduce your footwork just to be able to cut on a dime. And there was times where you saw Tevin Coleman kind of run into the back of the guys or take a couple of extra yards to get lateral because